In recent times, our community at Iona College, like so many communities right around the world, have experienced great sadness and tragedy and challenge. In working together to navigate our way through this darkness has come a great inner strength, a strength that's God-given and that really we only know exists when we truly need it. We've seen that within our community, particularly in times when we've come together like we perhaps haven't ever had to come together before. Today, it's my privilege to share with you some of the great random acts of kindness that have been present within our place over the last period of time. These random acts of kindness are only small blessings, but certainly blessings that have made an impact upon the people who they've touched. Cooper, a Year 11 student, shared with me that in homeroom yesterday morning, a senior student taught a Year 7 boy how to tie his school tie, which he'd only just worn for the very first time. Levi, one of our primary boys in Year 6, gave a friend $5 for tuck shop simply because he'd forgotten his tuck shop money and didn't have any food for the day. Ben, one of our Year 11 students, was on the train yesterday morning where lots of passengers got on at Manly. He saw a number of Year 9 students stand up to give their seats to adults. David, one of our Year 7 boys, noticed a teacher walk past him who he hadn't met before. The teacher said good morning to him, and that shaped his day. Tom, one of our Year 12 boys, saw a Year 5 student start picking up rubbish on the handball courts after lunch when everybody had left. A little act of kindness that made a big impact on this Year 12 boy. Finn, a Year 11 student, noticed that one of his teachers volunteered to give up their lunchtime to help students with their assignments. Damon, one of our senior students, noticed that a teacher was having a difficult time after receiving some tragic news. That boy went out of his way to see how that teacher was going and changed the pathway of his day. Mr. Russo, a Year 6 teacher, noticed one of his students give his own hat to another student who'd forgotten to pack his hat for the day. Dylan, a Year 6 student, reported to me that his mum often will make too much food deliberately so that he can take the leftovers to the neighbours. Ben, a Year 11 student, noticed that a boy in homeroom was having a difficult time. He took himself over to that boy, which he didn't really know, and asked him if he was okay. Jack, a Year 12 student, was noticing that his teacher had had a really tough week. And despite this, the teacher had brought in food to share with the entire homeroom. Ben, one of our Year 11 students, noticed that a student was wanting to print out their assignment in the library, but had forgotten his ID card. He was very upset. A Year 9 student came over to see if he was okay and invited the student to email the assignment off to him so that he could print it off and use his card. Patrick, one of our youngest members of our community, a Year 5 student, was at the park with his grandmother when she fell over and she had a nosebleed. Two strangers came over, helped lift her up to her seat, and they stayed with her until she was feeling better. Teece, another one of our Year 5s, says that his dad saw a lady fall from her wheelchair at Coles. As they rushed over to help her back into their wheelchair, she smiled at them and said thank you. Thomas from Year 5 tells a story where he fell off his bike and his friend who was with him at the time stayed with him, comforted him until he was well enough to ride home. Declan, again a Year 5 student, noticed that his sister was having a really tough time doing her online dance classes. Declan went out of his way to make her a hot chocolate and made her feel much better.